domination and aggression.
Sorry? I just heard somebody say something. Okay. So again, to everybody who's just reached or just signed into our webinar, my name is Anastasia. So I'm with BreezeMax Web, and our host Brennan Galler here is about a minute away to be ready to start presenting. And today's guest will be a VP of Sale, Chris Meunier. So if you have any questions, put it in the chat. At the end of presentation, we will be taking questions. So just put it in the chat so that way you do not forget. And at the same time, please put in your information, your name, phone number, business, email in the chat. If you don't want to share it with everybody, send it to me privately. We'll be doing a draw and a giveaway. So please put in that information. And there's also a way that you could change your name if you'd like. You just click on your picture and there's mute. And then there's 3 little dots. You could click on that and rename, and you could put your actual name, because sometimes I see like there's someone there that's accounting. So I do not know your name or your business. So if you want, you could just go ahead and change your name. Just easier when it comes around for question time. Thank you so much. So Brennan, if you're ready.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just we're just waiting. I'm going to wait another couple minutes here. Get a couple more people on. All right.
Perfect.
And our guest speaker is getting ready as well. Get excited, guys. I'm excited. We're going to be having some good stuff today.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Angelica, for sharing your information. Thank you very much. Will be added to the draw.
All right, welcome everyone. Thanks, Anastasia. Awesome. Everyone can hear me okay? Can you hear me good? Perfect. I don't have the logo behind me, but because it doesn't show quite well. So in the past few weeks, been having the background, the backdrop here with a nice logo. But we're gonna just go with the plain old white background. So we'll go with that. So welcome everyone. Before we begin, as Anastasia mentioned, you got all that information. Let us know where you're joining from. It's always nice to see familiar faces, some new faces, businesses from East Coast, West Coast, wherever you're calling in from. We've had a lot calling in from New York. We've had a lot calling in from different parts of the world, which is great. It's also streaming on other platforms too. So we have others joining us that maybe you don't see on here, but we're broadcasting. So thank you for joining us. Our goal for this webinar series is to bring a ton of value to you. We're helping businesses through these challenging times. And really, this is what we do, right? As a company, myself, Anastasia, Steve, and Chris, we're going to have on as well too. As a company, this is how we help businesses right now. In this way, we have other avenues as well. And I'll ask that you just keep yourself muted as well to keep it to avoid distracting other attendees. Take notes as well is always good. To jot down ideas that you're having, jot down some new ideas, and we're gonna get going. So my name is Brennan Gowler. I've been your host, co-hosting with my colleague Anastasia. She creates meaningful connections and relationships for our company, BreezeMax Web, and myself. We are proud to serve businesses during this time as well. Last week, we have been covering some really good topics. If you haven't joined us I'll kind of just explain them. We talked a little bit about funding for your new business, funding for your existing business, different grants, different loans that you can tap into, subsidies, whether you're in the US, whether you're in Canada, doesn't matter. There's a lot of resources available to businesses. We also talked about your online reputation, how you can get that going, how you can get awesome reviews online, how you can manage that. So when consumers are typing your business name in online, it's usually a referral. And for that referral, you want to have, a good brand image so that they connect with you and they do business with you. We talked about that. We talked about brand content as well. And so all of this ties into having a really good plan for your business. Today, we're going to be talking about different website platforms that you can be using. Chris is going to dive into that in a few minutes here, in about 10 minutes or so. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to create amazing first impressions with your website. And we're going to have, proud to have a guest speaker returning, Steve Kovich, which is awesome to have him back on as well. And it's going to be good to go over different ways that you can create first impressions with your website. A little bit about us. So we've been around since 2005. We're called BreezeMax Web. We're a premier Google partner. If you haven't heard of a Google partner before, it's a really good certification that you can trust a Google partner to manage your Google advertising with you, to do it for you, but also alongside with you. Really, a Google partner is essentially just a licensed retailer of Google products. So you're using some of them right now, maybe Gmail, maybe Calendar. Google has a ton of different products for advertising your business and getting customers through your door. When there wasn't a pandemic, and as we open up in parts of the world, getting them back in your business, right? Getting them to call you, getting them to do business with you online even, right? And that's essentially what we help with. We started all across Canada and the US and North America. I've been with the company since 2017 and personally seen a lot of different changes in the marketing landscape. A lot of uncertainty has happened, right? And so as a company, we've seen this as well. We're going through some more turbulent times as well, of course. And, even with some other things too, with Google announcing different, making different announcements as well that can impact your business. Normally we meet clients in person at our offices across Canada, but we can't right now due to the circumstances. And so we're diving more into these webinars a little bit more. We've been helping out these amazing tools, these business support tools, we call them. And as a Google partner, we have a responsibility within the community. Like I said, we don't take that lightly. When all this happened, we had to act swiftly with precision and help out businesses with a strategy to communicate with their customers. And you'll see it on my screen there. On the left, there's a live chat. On the right, there's a banner. You can also have it in the form of a pop-up. We're offering these, we have been for a while now, no charge, no contract, really as a public service. And these are support tools to communicate with your clients. Let them know, are you open? Are you closed? How have you changed your services, your products? What are you doing for them? And so it allows you to reach out to that existing book of business that you have, their existing clientele, and new clients as well. So we'll come back to these a little bit later. You can also add on to these services as well at a low cost, but we can, communicate with your clients via email, touching base with them that way as well. All right. So the topic again today is which website platform will allow your small business to thrive, and with our guest speaker, Chris Munier. You may have a website already, right? As a business owner, you may not, you may be happy with it, or you want to update it and tweak the design and content, or you don't even have a website. Maybe you're just starting out, or you've been in business for a few months and you need a website. Whichever position you're in, this will be a valuable presentation for you. We always say in the marketing industry that your website is your business card on the internet, right? It's literally a business card on the internet. Customers go to your website for location, hours, getting the phone number, etc., right? And while that's true, that is only part of the story, right? Your website is your brand image and it reflects who you are as a company. What I always tell my clients, and we tell our clients this as a company as well, nationwide, is that if you have 10 to 20 years of experience as a company, even 5, that needs to reflect on your website. We're going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, how you can do that, how you can add different elements and pieces to your website that show that you have an authority, right? you do great work, you have great services, great products, great customer service. Maybe you're the cheap guy in town with certain types of services. Maybe you're a plumbing company or whatever, right? These types of things need to be reflective online. And so also the platform that you choose is critical in that, in delivering to your clients, your customers, to your patients that, we are a legitimate business. And you all notice it when you visit websites. You see some websites, you're like, I don't feel right when I visit this website. You know it subconsciously, and you leave the website, right? Because it's maybe a website, cheap website they really didn't put too much effort into. And so your website's a tool, right? And you need to pick the right tool for the job. Your website's also a 24/7 salesperson, right? We're going to talk about more of that tomorrow. When most businesses build websites, they only take into account what they see, right? The visual, right? The aesthetics of the website. But equally as important is the back end of the site that will allow your website to show up to people who haven't seen you before, right? There's the front end and the back end of the website. And we like to use this car metaphor, right? And the metaphor goes that something like this: your car may look all shiny, all right, on the outside, it might look really brand new, right? But under the hood, maybe you haven't been adding the oil, you haven't been adding the normal fluids, you've been kind of forgetting about these things. What ends up happening, right? The car ends up slowly breaking down and it won't run smooth after a while. That's how your website works. Your website's the same thing. Your website may look great, but the platform on the back end is not set up to rank on Google to get you customers, but also it's not set up to have different, allow you to have different functionality on it and give you more ability to change things and to run a proper website, right? Websites also, if you consider it like your physical brick and mortar, your physical office location or your store location, right? You need to invest only a portion of what you would normally put into your physical location. Put some money into that for your website as well. It's as important, and especially now everything's online, and so this is all you see. This is what your clients are seeing. So put some love into it, right? The next part of this is depending on the industry you're in, right, and your business goals as well. So it depends on the type of platform that you should use, and Chris will go into a lot more detail about this and give you some really good platforms to use. But I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and maybe you fall under one of these categories. If you don't, no worries. Let us know in the chat later on, or even right now. Let Anastasia know what your questions are, and we can discuss that one-on-one on the call today as a group, and even one-on-one we'll have a consultation with you, and we'll give you exactly what you need to tell you exactly what you need to do. The first example you'll see on my screen is actually a retail store, right? Maybe they have a brick and mortar, a physical location. Maybe maybe they sell clothes, right? They may also sell online if they haven't already. They've opened up an e-commerce store. That's where having a website platform called WordPress or even Shopify is very, very important, and gives you the ability to sell your products, to sell all of them, not just a few of them, right? A bakery may need a very basic site, right? A WordPress site will do just fine. But even another platform like Wix is fine for that because it's very basic information, contact information, a few products that you're going to have on there, some nice pictures. That's all you need, right? So different depending on the type of business, if you can see where I'm going with this. A medical spa, right? If you do body slimming treatments or some actual medical treatments, this is where a WordPress site will also be good because you can explain all these benefits to your clients. You can have the different treatments on there listed out. A lot of content needs to get put into a spa's website, right? Videos, testimonials. You need to have that information. And we're going to show you what that looks like in a minute. I'm actually going to ask Chris to share. I'm going to stop sharing here now, Chris, and I'm going to ask you to pull up Spider Tech. This is one example of a
Perfect.
client.
I'm going to do that right now for you. Let me just see here.
And while Chris is looking for this, I'm going to ask everybody to just please put your business information, name, and phone number. We'll be doing a draw and a giveaway, please, for those who didn't hear it.
Did that work there?
Yeah, that works. Yeah, we see it. Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Anastasia. Thanks, Chris. All right. So you can see here, this is an example of a client that sells a lot of product. They actually sell kinesiology tape. great for sports injuries, right? And Chris is clicking on one of the pages here that's roles for masks, right? They have actually pivoted. They've done a really smart strategy where everyone needs masks. There's a short supply on masks, and they have brought in their product and said, hey, you can actually make masks with our tape, right? What a great way. They've been pumping it out on social media. So, but you can see on this website here, a lot of content, a lot of nice videos, right? It's an e-commerce site. And so this platform, they have chosen WordPress, Magento. It's called Magento, yeah. Magento is a superior e-commerce platform, and it allows you to add in third-party plugins, right? Add-on features. You can see some of the ones that Chris is highlighting there right now. This will convert users into customers and also upsell options as well too, right? When you go into when they buy one thing, the $22 tape there, they can actually add on other products as well. They can add on multiple, 10, 12, 15, whatever they want, right? So Magento gives you this ability to sell more. It's SEO friendly. If some of you are not familiar with that, search engine optimization gives you more ranking ability on Google. You can see the mobile version is optimized, right? It's powerful. It loads fast, right? A lot of upsells come through this site, and it's very customizable and very versatile. You can see how fast it loads with the video there as well too. So something like that engages the customer, gives them next steps and all that. We're going to pop over to Wayfarer Insurance. This is another client. They have a similar type of website, but this is different, right? This is, as I mentioned in the previous slide, this is not e-commerce, right? This is a WordPress site. As you can see here, very simplistic design, very easy to navigate. It has a lot of content, about 50 plus pages on this site, and they need to engage their customers with their different products and different services that they offer. You can see they even have specific landing pages, like a travel insurance page, right? So when someone's typing in travel insurance near me or travel insurance Toronto, right? Yeah, from bird watching to base jumping. That's actually pretty cool. I like it. Depending on what activity you're doing, they got your needs covered, right? So a lot of different platforms that you can be using, but you can see one like Spider Tech, it's e-commerce, it's versatile, it loads fast. Wayfarer Insurance, more of content driven, and that will actually help to convert more convert clients more easily. So thanks for showing us that, Chris. I'm going to actually introduce you now, and then you can do your part. So Chris Munier, you can see him on the call there, everybody. He's our VP of Sales and Marketing at BreezeMax Web. He's been joining us the last couple of weeks. It's been awesome to have him on. He's a Bachelor of Commerce with a marketing major. Beyond a digital marketing expert, he's a reputation management expert and Google My Business expert. Maybe some of you may have heard his topics the last couple of weeks, talking about how to get reviews, how to boost your business, how to boost the online reputation of your business. And Chris always says that he's at the forefront of everything digital. He understands that there's no point doing anything digital unless you take care of your online reputation first and lay the proper foundation for that. So thank you, Chris, and I'll hand it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brennan, and thank you for everyone in attendance. This is a very exciting topic that I'm excited to present. Content management systems are often misunderstood, and there's a lot of options, and it can be confusing. So, really the goal here is for us to just kind of simplify and build off what Brendan has talked about and introduce the top 10 most popular content management systems currently being used in the world, and to talk about really, very, very quickly why they're good, any limitations that they might have, and such. So I'm going to share my screen and my slideshow in a second here. And once I do that, if everyone can just tell me, anybody, Brennan, can you see content management systems? What are they?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to go right into this. We won't delay. Oops, wrong click. And here we go. Okay, so simply a content management system, commonly referred to as a CMS. That's an acronym in the world of digital marketing. We love acronyms. So CMS is one that you'll hear all the time. And it's basically any software application that can be used to manage the creation and modification of digital content. Your website, any website, it is a content management system that's powering it. And it's just basically allowing that content to be uploaded onto something, housed somewhere, and then easily accessed by somebody that uses the URL, basically goes to your website address. Right, so there's a whole bunch of different content management systems out there, but to simplify it, every website is powered by some form of content management system. Now, if any of you want to really kind of pick up and start checking out what content management systems are out there, if you're using a Chrome browser, which I hope you all are, we are a G Suite provider and a Google Cloud provider and a Google Premier Sales channel partner. So I'm a little bit biased, but Google Chrome is the best browser in the world, and you can get a Chrome extension called Wappalizer. I actually can't use it on this page. I'll have to show you in a minute. But Wappalizer will tell you everything about each website you're on, including the content management system. So going into it, WordPress, by and far the most used website content management system in the world. I really want to just make sure everyone understands this is WordPress.org. There's two different WordPresses out there. So this is the one that you can use different themes and build different websites. Sorry, Ramm, I'm on here today. Sorry, that was our Vice President of Technology just cruising in to take a listen. Sorry about that, everyone. Anyways, so we have about 27 million plus websites are powered by WordPress, taking up about 35% of the market share. So the pros, SEO friendly, actually the most SEO friendly. We'll look at some of our websites later, and the majority of them we're doing SEO on, and they're ranking, and it's because WordPress is by far the most SEO friendly. Also very mobile friendly features, as long as they're done right, it's built properly, it is scalable across all devices, including mobile, and making sure that your website can go across any device is very important. Blogging functionality, obviously, it's there. WordPress started as a blogging platform, so it's carried the tradition as being a leader with that. E-commerce functionality powered by WooCommerce, good for usually up to about 200 products. You can get more on there, but you have to really know what you're doing. Once you go beyond that, there's other CMSs that are better, which we'll look at later. And by far the most plugins that you can get for any content management system. Cons, WordPress is user-friendly, but it can be difficult to learn and manage if you're new to the platform. Also, there's some other security risks out there that people talk about, and this is true, but generally those security risks and threats are aimed more at new users that really don't know how to secure their server or update their plugins properly. And then there are vulnerabilities, and also the cloud, the hosting that you're using should be a WordPress-centric host. So number one is WordPress. Number two, Wix. We've all seen Wix. You've seen their ads. 3.8 million plus users. They're an all-in-one website option, about 7.2% of the content management market share. And pros, mobile friendly for the most part, user friendly, very easy to use. They have blogging functionality, not as robust as WordPress, and e-commerce, and not as robust as Shopify. The cons are they have a monthly cost associated with them and very limited customization. Basically, it's a sandbox solution. So I'm going to expand on the term sandbox really quickly. You're going to hear me say sandbox a lot. And basically what it is when you get a lot of these platforms, like let's say Weebly, Squarespace, Wix, Shopify, they are very, very easy to use, but the reason is they are hard-coded. They're very limited in what you can do in the back end. Basically, you can only play with the toys that they provide in their sandbox, and we don't use them simply because we need to do things beyond that sandbox to make sure our clients' websites rank, and you will be very limited with a solution from one of them for ranking your website organically. So that is sandbox. You can only play with their toys. Number three, Squarespace. It's another all-in-one website option. You know what? Sorry, that should have been changed by there. So don't worry about Wix, but Squarespace has about 4% the content management system market share. Once again, basically the same as Wix for all of its pros, and basically the same as Wix for all of its cons. Really very, very similar, just different branding. For the most part, they're very, very similar content management systems. Joomla. So this is not like an all-in-one solution. This is an open source content management system. It actually has about 3.5% of the content management market share. It is highly mobile friendly, user friendly, and has blogging functionality and e-commerce, but it is not very user friendly, and it's very difficult for new users. And you have to be quite experienced in Joomla to operate Joomla. It's not just anything that anybody can do, and that's why it doesn't have a huge market share, but it is a good content management system. Shopify, we all know Shopify, second most valuable company in Canada, only behind RBC, making lots of splashes in the news these days. Most well-known brand in e-commerce. They have less than 1% of the market share though, about 1 million live websites. Mobile-friendly features, user-friendly blogging, e-commerce functionality. They are very well known for their e-commerce. Problem is, they can be very expensive with hidden fees, and it's also a sandbox solution stuck within its theme and the Shopify ecosystem. So often users will come on, especially new businesses, and they'll build out their website, and they'll start off with a small package and realize everything that they want seems to be in the next package up. And then there's also, besides the monthly cost, there's percentage of sales costs, there's a whole bunch of things. So, but the main thing is ranking with SEO is hard. You will never be as nimble as using a custom CMS like WordPress or Magento if you have more products, which we'll talk about shortly. So a lot of businesses will start with Shopify. 5-10 years down the road, 2 years down the road, they realize they have to switch over to something else because they're not ranking organically, and they're sick of paying for solely relying on paid traffic to their website. So there's Shopify. Drupal, 500,000 websites live, about 1.2% of the market share. Not a lot of people know about this, and it's not very user-friendly. You can see the pros, but it's very, very difficult for new users, and you need an experienced Drupal developer to manage this CMS for you. Blogger is literally, it's by Google, less than 1% of the market share, and it's primarily used for blogging. It has no e-com function, but it's a free content management system you can use if you just want to get your blog on out there. And then we'll go over to PrestaShop. PrestaShop is a kind of biting, well, not really biting on the heels of Shopify, but they're behind Shopify in that domain of e-commerce. They are a free open source platform. They're focused on e-commerce, but they do have some good functionalities, and it's free to use, but you need to purchase a custom domain instead of posting with PrestaShop. So they kind of have a little bit different of a revenue model. I've only come across a few clients where I operate out of in Southern Ontario actually operating one of these sites. And we did find some limitations with a few things that we wanted to do, but I don't see them that much. So if anyone's using one, let us know, because they're pretty interesting. And Magento. Now, this is a really cool content management system, about 167,000 out there. Actually, when we were looking at SpiderTech is a Magento build, super SEO friendly, user friendly blogging functionality in e-commerce. In terms of user friendliness, Magento does kind of require developers' assistance. And usually you would have somebody doing that anyways, because if you're going to have a Magento website, it's going to be for e-commerce purposes, and it's going to have probably a lot of products on it. So it is a great content management system. And when we do e-commerce with a website that requires more products than WordPress or WooCommerce should accommodate, we go to Magento. So that we give Magento a big thumbs up. We love it. And then Bitrix coming in at 10, also oddly with 167. You know what? There's a little error there. It doesn't seem like this updated. I'm just gonna quickly update this really fast. I think Ramm was just updating it. Sorry about that, everyone. I think Ramm made a change to it. That's why I came in here. Same info. Sorry about this. I hit the wrong button. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, perfect. I knew that wasn't right. Bitrix, 223,000 websites live, and it's not a free blogging platform by Google. Sorry, there's an error in there, but it's a very obscure website and no e-com, and it is a blogging thing. So I don't think many of you will be trying to use it, but it is in there at number 10. So we're gonna now check out a few websites. These are different examples of different content management systems, and we've built all of these, or we've managed them all. So really quickly, we'll open Wayfair. You guys have seen this before, but what I want to show you is the Wappleizer extension I told you about earlier. If you're going to be using a Chrome browser, this is Wappleizer here. All you have to do is Google Wappleizer Chrome extension, and you can get this cool nifty little tool, and it'll allow you to really just find out a lot of things, and you can click on it and it'll take you to Wappleizer's website, and then Wappleizer's website will load and it will tell you more information about it. No data available yet. Something happens with their internal site, but generally they'll tell you all the websites that are using it, with the most traffic and such. So there's a nice WordPress build. We'll check out a nice Magento build. Another one that we did besides the same one before, which was Spider Tech. And this is a company out of Edmonton. So it's a nice one there. And quickly we'll hit a Joomla build. So Joomla, it's kind of, you can't see Joomla in here, but this is by Joomla. And this is an Ontario business. They have about, they're one of our clients, have about 67 locations throughout Ontario. And then what I'm actually going to do is I have some other cool examples I want to show you. Just give me 1 second here. I'll pull them over because I actually have some hand selected ones here. Can you guys see that new website there, Modern Concierge, has popped up?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, perfect. So really quick, I see we're at 4:31. So I'll just sum this up. And what I want to talk about now quickly is how websites should reflect the business that you're in and kind of the people you're going after. So Modern Concierge, they're like an event company. If you want to do a product release or a new restaurant opening, where you're a software company, you want to have a big party, whatever the event is, they can do that for you. You can see here, you know, this is what it's speaking to, right? A very beautiful, clean, crisp website. And it's basically telling people, hey, you know what? These are the events we do, and this is where we can take you, and we can do that for you. So that's a nice WordPress build, very clean website. Now over here, another one of our clients coming from Winnipeg, they're looking for, you know, a certain type of client for their rentals, people that, you know, have a good income, but they're just not ready to buy. They're family kind of oriented people, and this is what they do here. So very nice, clean website, reflecting exactly what they're looking for. Now we want a little bit of a flashy website for the jewelry industry. There's one of our clients out of downtown Toronto, and you can see it's got a lot of flash to it. So all of these so far have been WordPress builds. And then, you know, a design company, well, you want to blow away people that work in design. You know that they're very picky, so you got to make sure your website's really on point and showing some stuff off there, so you can see that one. It's a nice stunner. And when you're dealing with architects and certain artistic people, you got to make sure it's like that. This is just a Med Spa out of New York. I'm actually just going to skip. It's more of a salesy one. But this one I really like. If you know, into the trades, beautiful HVAC website. It shows off a lot of conversion tools. It's bringing over one of our widgets, showing our Google reviews. Fully chat functional here. And then if we go into mobile, you're going to see this, you know, it's got a great experience once I get rid of that drawer there. It just looks really good. It's very easy to use, another WordPress build. Here's another, this is really, really cool above mapping. I really like the way this website is kind of aimed at a different audience, and you can just tell it's like, you know, it's built a certain way to speak to certain people. Sorry, every time I hover up there, it gets me there. And then in here, we have a whole bunch of different e-commerce builds. So, you know, this is a food one. You got recipes, everyone in there, and very clean. 201, very deep website. All right, and this one's a WordPress one as well. So, you know, we have a whole bunch of different options there, showing you different types of websites. But the one reoccurring theme, and I want to finish off with this. There's a reason why the majority of content management systems out there are WordPress. The majority of businesses can benefit from a WordPress website, that being their content management system. They don't really need to look at other things. And often, if you see another content management system that someone's offering you, you want to really make sure that they're not the only people or agency or company that's ever going to be able to work on that. You want to make sure that somebody else can work on your website, or even yourself can. And we use WordPress with Divi Builder in the back end, and we actually provide our clients a little cheat sheet so they can get to know the back end, and we provide them the back-end access, even we're doing SEO and all that, so they can get to know how to use their website and manage it later on for them. And really, that's it. I hope that you guys learned a lot from this presentation. I hope it was of value to you. And I'm going to bring it back over to Brendan now.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I just wanted to say that, maybe you're thinking, what platform's best. Chris explained that, WordPress is the clear-cut winner, I would say, for most business owners. Maybe also you have an existing website, and most of you do, and you want to tweak it, you want to change the content on it. That's always a good thing to do. Sometimes when we take a look at a website, there's too much to change on it, and so we would actually advise to just build a brand new website. But there's definitely so many different options you have, or maybe you didn't even realize that there's different content management systems out there, right? And so we've kind of opened that up to share that with you. I want to pass it over to Anastasia, and she'll introduce Steve into the call.
Yes, thanks, Brennan. So now we're going to have Steve Kovich, who's our Senior VP of Sales. So Steve, welcome.
Thanks, Anastasia. Again, welcome everybody to the call. A ton of value on these calls. I've always been really curious about why business owners choose to use a certain type of website, and I think Chris and Brennan have really illustrated that well for everyone. So just to kind of recap, in my experience, I've noticed that every business owner knows that they need a website, but they never really know why. They just kind of know that they need one because that's what everyone else has. So these websites are simply tools, and it's the right tool for the right job. So, for example, I do not own a lathe because I do not do a lot of work that requires a lathe in my little townhouse. However, I have access to my laptop, which I'm always on, and that's a tool that I use every day. So with your business, the tool that is your website needs to reflect how you do business. And, you've seen a lot of great illustrated points. So if the tool you require for your business is you want to do it yourself, kind of basic format, there's a lot of those basic kind of freebie style websites out there like Wix and Weebly and GoDaddy. If you're the type of business owner who wants to have control of your website, who wants to be able to utilize the full functionality of it, not be restricted, then you're definitely going to gear more towards a WordPress or Magento tool for that website. So I hope that these calls have really inspired all of you listening to kind of analyze your own business, take a look at your website and see, is it the right tool? Is it accomplishing the goals and the tool is designed for? Because I unfortunately have had to talk to business owners who said that their website does not do anything for them, that they do not get any business from their website, they do not get any leads from their website. And this is when I have a different conversation with them. I tell them, well, that website's not the right tool for you. If you are not getting business from your website, it is not the right tool. The clients that we work with that do get a lot of business from their website, everything on a larger scale, like say, Spider Tech or Wayfarer Insurance, Braun Bros, some of those prime examples, all the way down to very localized, small brick and mortar businesses like JC Optical or Honey Cupcakes. Their websites do generate business for them as well because it's in the right tool. So I did notice our good friend Stephen Gregory asked us if BreezeMax Web, if we help guide our clients in terms of picking the right tool. The answer, Steve, is absolutely 100% yes. We like to do a deep dive and analysis on who their customers are, what their goals are as a business before recommending a website platform and how that website should be structured. So we can give them an actual timeline and guidance and expectation for exactly how things will work. And we try to be pretty accurate with that. So the right tool for the right job. I was going to say, are there any other questions? Anastasia, why don't we open it up to questions now?
Yeah, no, so right now that was the only question. So if anybody has a question, please unmute yourself and feel free to ask. And if not, go ahead and put it in the chat.
As I did notice, Brennan asked in the chat if anyone knows what website platform they're working on. And again, just like, for a plumber, they want to know what type of routing tools they're using, or a carpenter wants to know what type of hammer they're using. As a business owner, we really, really recommend, even if you're not on the development side and directly working with your website, you still understand the tool that is your website and the functionality of it so you can get the best out of it. I hope that makes sense to everybody.
Yeah,
while we're waiting for any questions, Brennan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we could expect on tomorrow's webinar and a little bit more about our giveaway?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, Steve. So yeah, I just also wanted to mention too, just to add on to what he said that, one of the things we do constantly is doing a website assessment for your, for your business, for your website. And we take a look at, what are you doing well? What are you missing? Where are the gaps? And that can kind of highlight some issues or even some good things that you're doing well. And then that will lead us in the right direction of, hey, do you want to switch over to a different platform? Are you, if you're using the right one, we'll stick with that one to get you more business and to get you sales. So yeah, certainly I'll shoot over to this slide here. We have, most of you have heard of this already if you've been joining us again. If not, a lot of free tools, a lot of next actions for your business. The first one there you'll see is our COVID-19 business support tools that we've been mentioning. There are live chat, there's a banner pop-up, no charge, no contract. We update it on your website. You can kick us off the website after if you like, but we're really doing this as a public service to help out businesses. Had tremendous success with it with current clients. We open it up to non-clients as well, and we've been doing that for the last month or so. Also, you'll see on there we have a $150 Google credit. So if you've been advertising for your products, your services already, let us know. We can help you with this. If you haven't, the traffic is just going up and up every single day. Whether you have a plumbing company or whether you have a brick and mortar retail store that sells clothes, doesn't matter. You can tap into this. Take advantage of some of these Google products that are being offered right now. And then on the last part there is a free 6-page website draw that we're taking this week. We're collecting all the names, and in order to enter into it, you have to provide us your full name, full business name, phone number, email, and we'll be doing the draw next week. And then tomorrow we're going to be talking about, with Steve and myself, we're going to be talking a little bit about how to wow customers with your website, right? What are the different things that you can implement on your website to grab their attention, to hold their attention? We're going to show you some that are dropping the ball in this regard. They're not doing a good job and they're actually losing business because of it. And we're going to show you some great examples. Also next week, we have Ashwin back on. He's going to talk about how to set up a financial plan for your business. I'm going to talk about how to set up a marketing plan, some easy next steps to guide you in that. And then also exciting is, as things are slowly reopening, maybe you're seeing that in wherever you are around the world. In our area in Canada here, we're seeing some slowly communities opening up. And so you need to shift your attention back to reopening your offices. And we're going to talk a little bit about different strategies, different products that you want to lead with. And you may have some questions, in order to put together, what does that strategy look like? And so we're gonna talk more in depth about that next week, how you can get back to business and really lead from the front rather than being behind. So that's what we got coming up. Any further questions, anybody? If you have them, please.
Yes, we have one more from Steve Gregory. So how many pages do you recommend as best practice for website? Or is it how long is a piece of string?
It's definitely how long is a piece of string type of question. So I'll give you 2 quick examples. I have a wonderful client by the name of Lori. She owns a product called the Safe Grate, and it's a cooking tool for kids to make sure that when they grate cheese and things like that, they don't scrape their fingers. And she has just one product. So her website is literally one page that features that product, and it's really does the trick for her absolutely through and through. Whereas we also work with a company called Milani Plumbing. It's actually a really large plumbing service company out here, 83 vehicles on the road. When they started their website, long before I had ever met them, again, they had a 1-page template website that was actually made for them from a phone book company at the time. Now their current site has 400 pages because they offer 60 different services. They each have their own breakdown as well. So the website that you have, when you decide, what tool is necessary for you, is your website simply a business card online? That could be a 1 to 4-page site. If you have 1,000 products that need to be featured, that's going to be a 1,000-page website, and everything in between. So, depending on how many different services you offer and how in-depth each of those need to be spoke about, educated about on the website, will really dictate how large that website should be. And no matter how large a website is, thousands of pages, tens of thousands of pages, they should have a good interlinking strategy so that I can find whatever I want on that site within 2 clicks or less. A great example of this are websites like, Yelp, so I can just type in my category and skip through all the other pages. go to the directory for HVAC or restaurants that I want. Another great example would be our SpiderTech client. You know, if I'm looking for a specific type of KT tape, I just go to the product section. So even though SpiderTech has hundreds of pages, I can get to anything I want in 2 clicks or less. I'm pretty happy about that. So I hope that answers your question, Steve, and by not answering your question.
That's great, Steve. Thanks. Any final thoughts there, Chris Munier, from your side?
Thank you, Brendan. No, you know what? I think Steve summed it up really good. And yeah, it's just deciding on what website you need is a big decision. But you know, for the most part, most business owners, WordPress is going to be where it's at for them. And having your website built properly makes all the difference, right? Digital advertising, being online, your campaign is only as strong as your weakest link. And if your website can't convert, doesn't work on proper devices, doesn't load quickly, a whole bunch of different things, and it can make basically a lot of work useless, because then you just you drop off right there. So very, very important. And it's a storefront, right? A lot of businesses use it as a storefront these days. So the one thing I'll say is, I always tell business owners, especially if I go into their place of business, your website should always be nicer than your place of business. I say that to medi spas, retail shops, right? You really want to put your best foot forward. So don't skimp out. Make sure that you get the right website that fits your needs and reflects your business goals. And that's it for me.
Perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. That's awesome. So again, we got the free website draw that we're taking this week. We'll be pulling the names next week. Business support tools and Google ad credits, as well as a free audit, which is awesome, website assessment. So definitely touch base with us. How you do that is you book a meeting with us, and we will help you out with that. So it's a give and take relationship here. But we're happy to help businesses, and we're happy to put these webinars on and sponsor them, and to lead from the front. So look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. That is it for me, because we're at our time limit here. But if you have further questions, please put them in the chat. And thank you very much, everyone.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks again.
Thank you. Angelica, if you're still on the line, I just sent you a private message. Okay, sounds good, Angelica. Thank you. We're good, Brennan, so you can close the chat now. Thanks again.